glad you came to rescue me. I'm so 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 glad. Everybody say, I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I said, I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I'm so glad you came to rescue me. Everybody say, I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I'm so glad you came to rescue me. I'm so glad. Oh, we say, I'm so glad you came to rescue me. 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 Oh, Lord, I'm so glad you came to rescue me. 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 Yeah. You came to set me free. To deliver me. To deliver me. I know that you did. I know you did. Know you did. You came to set me free. You came to deliver me. Oh yeah. You came to set me free. You came to deliver me. You did it all for me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You came to set me free. You deliver me. Oh God. You came to deliver me and save me. You did it all for me. You did to deliver me. Oh Lord, to deliver me. You did it all for me. I know that you did it all. I know that you love me. I know that you care for me. Yeah. I know that you love me. I know that you care for me. Yeah. I know that you love me. I know that you care for me. Oh Lord, you did it all for me. Everybody say, I'm so glad you All right, all right, all right. We are back. We are back. Mind, body, and soul with Annette. And we are going to do some final things here as we end up on this afternoon. Again, I am grateful for my guests on today for showing up and helping us to keep the memory of the late Apostle Hinton alive. We've been talking about him, talking about Apostle as the man. We've been talking about his ministry, and we've talked about the message. And many of you have shared your thoughts. You've shared your memories with us on today. And I thank you, those of you that have called in also. I wanted one caller to call in. I guess he's just too busy on today, but that's okay. Still love you, Apostle Mark. So we were talking about the exhibit that is on display at the Harold Washington Library. And Melody started us off. And I wanted to hear from Minister Randy as well about this beautiful exhibit. Again, I told you at the beginning, I was able to go by and check it out myself and look at what they have displayed there. As you're telling us your thoughts about the exhibit, how did you mentioned about going through all the things to even have displayed? Because I'm sure it was so much to go through, maybe pictures and I even saw messages, displayed there or whatever. It's under lock and key over there too. You can't get to it. But how did you even those things that are there? How did you even get to the point? Okay, we want this in here, that in here. Did it take a long time to get to what you guys wanted to have in there?
Well, the thing is that, yes, it did take a long time because we wanted to have the right things. A lot of people don't know that Apostle Hinton himself put a history room together. Yeah. And in his history room, it has some of the items. Well, most of the items that you see down at Harold Washington was in his history room. And he did it himself. After he had finished preaching, no matter how late, he'll come by there and work on the history room to 3 or 4 in the morning. The last time before it was finished, I was there. I was back and forth, but that last time we stayed there to about 7 in the morning because he had to preach somewhere, and then we went out to eat, and then we went over there. And this is how he always get me. I'm not gonna be long. Yeah. That was his word. I'm not gonna be long, Randy. Watch what I say. I couldn't tell him, yeah, all right. You had to respect the man of God.
Right.
And we stayed over there to get everything finalized, and it was like 7 in the morning. It was on a weekday. And so after we got finished, he said, "Oh my goodness, I kept you out longer than I thought." I said, "Yes, sir, but it's all good." So I'll never forget. I said, "Well, Reverend, do I have to come in to work at 9 o'clock?" He said, "No. What you can do, you can come in at 10 o'clock." I said, "Okay." But if I need to, is no problem. But it was hands on his hand, and the way it's designed is the way he did it himself.
Beautiful.
And a lot of people don't know about the history room. Some of the members have been in there and all that, but he never opened it up while he was alive. He told me, he said, "Randy, when I leave, then you can open it up." He said it would not be a history room no more. It will be a memorial room. But I said, "Well, Pastor," I said, "a lot of people want to see it, No, I don't want nobody to see it yet." And we have to stick with it. And after he went home to be with the Lord, that's when we opened it up. And we open it up, every now and then, let people come through there. It is so much history in that room.
Oh my God, it is.
So much history in the room. So we start talking about putting him somewhere else, some of his articles and things on that order. And that's how Harold Washington came about. I'll never forget, Makisha, she called me and she said, "Randy," she said, "go down to Harold Washington and see Dr. Clay Evans exhibit." And so I went down there and I was like, "Wow, this is wonderful." So from that point, I started calling Harold Washington. I couldn't get an answer, or I leave a message and they never call me back and other things on that order. So I was talking to this young lady named Jackie, which works for the church. And we was just having just a general conversation. And so I told her what I want to see and what to happen. And within an hour, she came back to my office. She said, "Okay, this is who you need to see. They waiting for you to call them." I'm like, "How did you do that when I've been trying to leave a message and they didn't call me back?" I felt some kind of way, but I said, "Fine, I'll leave it alone." And so she helped me get things together. She was right there making sure I go down there, seeing the appointments and getting the material together. The thing is, where the exhibit now is going to be up to, I think, July.
Yes.
Okay, July. And then next year, if anybody had been down there, it's a smaller room. And the thing is that I was kind of feeling bad, like, "Oh, he deserved a bigger room than this," and blah, blah, and all that. But it would take so many years to get in the big room because they already had it lined up for other people.
Okay.
And so I understand that, but I'm kind of selfish. You're like, make it happen. One of those things. So what happened, we ended up going in the smaller room. But thank God, this smaller room, you got to go through Richard Hinton stuff before you get to Harold Washington or anyone else stuff.
Yes, the way it's set
So
up.
the way it's set up, so everybody that comes up on the 9th floor, you got to go through Richard Hinton stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this worked out. They might not come up here to see Richard Hinton, but they come to see Harold Washington, but they got to go through his stuff.
Right.
So thank God it's there up until July. Next year we'll have the bigger room.
All right.
So it will be more archives or more material of Apostle Hinton. They'll be able to come anytime there's a video of different messages that will be continued to play from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. from opening and closing. I put it that way, that anybody can come up there and see it. Right now, you can go to Harold Washington and type it in, and it will come up, his archive of different messages and everything. So it was a wonderful event. The place was packed. I was like, "Wow, look at here." They came out because he made an impact. And I say he, when I say he, I'm talking about Apostle Richard Daniel Hinton. He made an impact on so many lives. And they came out and packed that place out. The workers are like, "You told me maybe about 50 or 100 folks." I'm like, "Hey,
Right.
But they came and they enjoyed it. So it is a wonderful thing. He deserved it.
Yes.
He definitely deserved it. We talking about a man of God that had a clean record.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to put off on no one else, but we're
No,
just talking about Apostle Richard Hinton.
that's right.
He was anointed and appointed. I think somebody said that on Facebook, which he was. And he just made an impact on thousands and thousands of lives that we don't even know about it. And even lives that's coming up now, the new generation, the younger generation, they're going to find out about him. Because he's all on YouTube. Social media is blowing up with Apostle Richard D. Hinton messages.
Love it, love it. Oh yeah, and it's great. You guys need to go out to the Harold Washington Library. Take a little field trip down there for your family or whoever else with your family. You need to go see it. You need to go see it. If you're here in Chicago, if you're coming in to visit before July. To Chicago, head on over to the Harold Washington Library, 9th floor. There's an exhibit there. It is called the R.D. Hinton Archives Preview Exhibit. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Harold Washington Library, and that's down on State Street, 400 South State.
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, you can't miss it. When you get down there, and you will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, you won't be.
If I could just say this before you
can.
move to the next point. They called me from Harold Washington and told me that some people came in. They've been having a good crowd.
Wow.
For one thing, thank God, people are still coming in to look at it. But this one gentleman, he was from Connecticut, and he heard it by Facebook or however about the flyer about Apostle R.D. Hinton Archives, and he said when he come to Chicago, he wanted to see it, and that's what he did.
Wow.
He came a couple weeks ago to Chicago, and he was talking to some of the workers, and he was saying, I had to come. He said, I'm from out of town, but I had to come to see this because this man, which he's talking about Apostle Hinton, that was my mother TV pastor.
Right.
Wow.
They lived out of town, but they enjoyed watching him on television.
Yeah.
And so he said he had to come just to see it.
Definitely.
So we just thank God for this open door. Glenn and Michelle that opened this door also that works right there. And they keep telling me that they are getting people coming in every day just to look at it.
Beautiful.
So we just thank God for that.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Okay, I know we're ending up today. I see Elder Dwayne Jones on. Thanks for watching, Beverly Brown. Many of you are coming back into this live feed. Jamone, how are you? All the way from California. You remind me of some stuff when you talked about the individual coming from Connecticut. Yes, many people didn't go to church on Sunday. They would sit and watch Apostle Hinton on TV. That was their TV pastor. But yeah, again, such a great impact on many lives. Many lives were changed. Someone called about testimony of healing. And I know there are many that were blessed to be healed through his ministry as well. I had the question down here. Do you believe it's important to keep his memory alive? But I know that you will probably say yes. How are we continuing on, even in the ministry now with Apostle Marc has taken over the mantle? Tell them how they can find you guys, where they can come and fellowship with you all. I don't know who wants to start.
Yes, Apostle Marc Anthony Hinton is doing a good job, a wonderful job. He's an awesome pastor and preacher. You can come to the service on Sunday at 8:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m. and then at 7 o'clock. He's great. He's just preaching up a storm. He's been preaching. I think he's been preaching for 40 some years.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said. Whoa, he's up there. After hear this, I know I'm gonna get it now. But he's doing a wonderful job. Monument is doing good, going strong. April the 19th will be a good service.
Okay.
And this is one of that Apostle Hinton did. He had a lot of crusades on holidays.
Right.
I didn't understand that. Holidays, you're supposed to stay at home with your family, but he had a crusade, Christmas crusade, Good Friday, Labor Day, and just so many of them. And so Apostle Marc Hinton is continuing on with that. And on April 19th at 9 o'clock, will be our Good Friday service, and he'll be preaching, Apostle Mark Anthony Hinton. The service is from 9 to 11. So if you're not busy, come on out. We're not going to be in church all day. If so, it's because the anointing is so heavy you don't want to leave.
Right.
And that can happen. That
Right.
can happen. But if you're not busy, come on out. 2750 West Columbus Avenue.
Yes, in Chicago. That's the
Yeah,
new
Right in
new
Chicago.
building.
downtown.
Somebody was telling me I haven't even been over to the new that they hadn't been over to the
Really?
new
Wow.
Oh,
building,
wow.
the new church edifice. But yeah, it's big. They did it big. But yeah, we thank God that you guys are continuing on. Melody, as we end up today, what one thing do you want people to remember about your dad?
Um, his love for God.
That's good. Why is that so important?
Um, because it kept him. You know, when you love someone, you want to please them. You want to make them happy. You know what I'm saying? You want them to be pleased with you.
Right.
And I think that's really what kept him grounded, what kept him even in the ministry. You know, because don't think he probably didn't think twice. And it wasn't just when the lady told him about don't wreck the train. You know, sometimes people can get discouraged during this walk. You
Right.
know, that's why it's so important to have armor bearers
Mm-hmm.
and people around you that are pouring back into you,
Beautiful.
especially spiritually. But yes, definitely his love for God, um, it stood the test of time.
Beautiful. Love it. I love it. Yeah, she can talk. She's good. She's
I
good.
told you.
Oh,
I
thank
know.
you.
I know. But that's a very great point because you had to share him with the whole world,
Yeah.
basically. You and your
Yeah.
siblings, you had to share him with the whole world. So we thank God that you all were understanding in that respect. Because some people will take that and run the other way, like I'm not sharing him or what have you, or have attitude about it or something like that. But his love for God. Yes, I love that response, and I think it's very apropos as we're talking about him on today. So I just want to thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
on today for taking
Thank
time
you.
out. Randy for finally getting here. Melody for being, no, I'm just kidding.
It was a long journey, but
It was a
thank
long
you.
journey,
Yes,
but
but
we
thank you.
appreciate
We
you.
thank you for inviting us.
I
Thank you.
always
Thank
mess
you.
with Randy. Like I said, we are longtime friends. He is my brother forever, from another mother and another father. But I appreciate him. He's been the same down through the years, and I just appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
All right, all
Thank you
right.
so much.
And Mello, baby
Hey,
girls, we got that going on here.
yes.
You
Definitely.
stay sweet. You stay as beautiful as you are.
Thank you.
I'll never forget a few years ago when I came back into acquaintance with you. You were just so inviting, just so sweet, so special. Because I just remember you from, and you
Yeah,
probably don't
yeah.
remember me, right, when you were younger. But seeing how the Lord has blessed you to become a beautiful woman of God, and you're just so sweet.
Thank you.
You're a sweetheart. I want you to keep that.
Thank you.
Continue
Thank
on. Continue on. So my listeners, my viewers, thank you so much for joining us on today, for your input, for sharing with us your thoughts, again, your memories of the late apostle. Let's keep his memory alive. Head on over to the Harold Washington Library, ninth floor, to look at the exhibit. It'll be there until July. And then next year, we're waiting on that bigger room over there. You can also, I'm sure, if you could get over to RD Hinton on 2750 West Columbus.
Avenue.
I'm sure if you'd be nice, maybe they'll let you go in and see the history room. Is it
Oh,
the
yes.
history room now?
Well, it's
Yes.
called
It's
Memorial.
memorial room now.
Mhm.
That the late apostle actually put together himself before his demise. So we just thank God for who he was and how he was to us, and just appreciate him. Let's celebrate one another. Let's celebrate one another, and let the Lord have his way. We will be back on next week. Final Melody will be in the house, giving us a little concert here. We're going to sit and talk to them. And then we have other individuals. Beverly Brown will be with us the following week. And then also, of course, at the end of the month, Dr. Hill. So stay tuned, Mind, Body, and Soul. We got a lot of things happening, new guests coming on. Don't go anywhere. Continue your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And stay with us, okay? Go to my website, Get Caught in the Net Radio, if you want to find out more information. And until next time, I want you to soar, and get caught up with a net.
Wonderful.
Get caught in a net with the net for your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with a net. It's your intellectual radio show, here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net.